I'm Bobby Cedro with Dunlop Manufacturing here at 2014, if you can believe it, Namm. And I'm here with Gear Gods, and they want to know what's up with some new pedals. So we moved over to a distortion, or kind of like an amplifier that's already set up for broken up sort of sound. And we have some pedals that can take it to the next generation of overdrive and distortion. Starting off with the Echoplex. This is an Echoplex preamp, the actual front end of the EP101, which is coveted by a lot of people. It adds a little bit of something, which is kind of this FET compression, a little bit of tone shaping, but all intrinsically done by this special designed little preamp. And it's not a lot of gain, only 11 dB, but just enough so it gets you over the top. And for instance, I'll have them play. That's straight into a little broken up amplifier. And actually, you can feel it more than hearing it to a certain degree. It adds a little more sustain, a little more attack. Very clean. It's like a secret weapon to just step out. Just when you need that little something over the top. This goes to 11. Literally 11 dB. Echoplex preamp. Moving to the Univibe. The Univibe that we actually make, exact replication of the old school with the cadmium sulfide cells and the light bulb. We've done this, it's a little more manufacturable with using FET technology, and it also doesn't vary with temperature, and it's very more stable. However, we mimicked the light bulb, the thermal inertia of it, so you move the speed, it creates all the swirling effects, and it moves the modulation, changes the rate of modulation, it also changes where it modulates, just like the original. But enough of my yak, and let's hear it. Simple control, speed. Volume, output level, and depth of modulation. Also, just like the original Univibe, we have a vibrato, which just brings out the modulated signal, so you get that little pitch shifting thing going. All in a small footprint, 2 hardwire bypass. And also the bypass light modulates to the speed of the effect. Moving to the Javelina. The Javelina is Way Huge's take on a germanium fuzz. And the cool thing about this, again, it's very simple, not a lot of knobs, but the tone knob is a secret feature that can go from really bright and sharp to very legato and warm. So again, with an amp that's just ready to go over the top. So with the tone control, you can get into a little bit of a different area that what normal just fuzz face is like this. It's got that classic sound, but with the tone control, you can go into a little more variations of tonal experiments. And Javelina. Moving to the FET driver, the same thing. Overdrive, giving it a push. Instead of tubes, the FETs kind of replicate the effects of a tube in the way it saturates. And this also, what we do is we bump up the internal supply so we have a bit more headroom to work with, which is great, especially with FETs. You want to make them breathe a bit. And also, because of the larger headroom they have to work with, we can make it sort of biased asymmetrically, so you get a very interesting second order harmonic distortion, yet you still have plenty of output. Low tone control, high tone control, and a high cut, which then brings the treble control to an even more useful dimension. You can get really subtle, creamy, and it really works well going into an amp that's just ready to go over the top in distortion. That's the FET driver. And then moving to the Clyde McCoy on a CM95. It's the old school circuitry. No buffer in the middle or in the front end, so the guitar sees the load of typical of an old school amplifier. Warms it up a bit, and it also has a halo inductor, big capacitors, big resistors. So just like old school, easy to work on for the tweaker, and it's really just a straightforward, great sounding wah-wah. The halo inductor adds a bit of mechanical microphonic. We cut out a bit of it because after all, you don't want to step on it and the whole thing to rattle, but the microphonics help acoustically it breathe and kind of give it a little bit of a howl and a feedback. So that comes with that old school halo inductor that we reintroduced. So that's it for 2014 new products from Dunlop Manufacturing. Gear Gods, thanks so much for coming by. I'm Bobby Cedro. That's Tal Morris. Signing off.